You know, this morning at the keynote, you heard Stephen say that it's not an all-in decision to go, it's not a binary decision to go all in or keep everything on premise. So let's talk about hybrid IT. Whoops, sorry. A couple of the slides are missing. Okay, sorry. We meant to have a couple of slides at the beginning there, but they've gone. All right, so let me just summarize what I'm going to say. So at AWS, we believe in making it as seamless as possible for you to combine both your on-premise and your cloud systems, as seamless as possible. To do that, we need to provide solutions that deliver business outcomes for hybrid IT. Hybrid IT, as Gartner says, is the combination of internal and external systems which deliver business outcomes. It's really important. You don't do private cloud or on-premise or public cloud just for the sake of doing it. Hybrid IT is about delivering business outcomes, using internal and external systems to deliver business outcomes. But how do you do that? At AWS, we've got some great services which are raw building blocks, such as virtual private cloud, you know, your own isolated part of AWS cloud. Direct Connect, your own dedicated connection to AWS regions. But they're raw building blocks. To deliver business outcomes, you need solutions. And we've got some fantastic partners, such as NetApp, which are building solutions which use our raw services to deliver business outcomes. And I want to introduce Sean Lim, the Director of NetApp for Asia Pacific Cloud Services, to come and talk about where they're innovating to deliver some of those solutions. Sean.
Right. Thank you, Jonathan. Can everyone hear me, right? Good? Cool. I want to start off by saying that NetApp, we are a data management company. We are a storage vendor. We are not a cloud provider. Some of you guys may be thinking, hey, this guy, is he wasting my time? He come to the Amazon event and not talk about cloud. Before you guys start packing up and start leaving the room, I want to assure you guys that NetApp, we do play a very critical role in the cloud ecosystem, especially when we talk about hybrid cloud. I think NetApp has the technology that help our customer to go to the cloud, to embrace the cloud, to build a hybrid cloud, and yet to enjoy all the cloud economics that cloud brings to the customer itself. But yet, at the same time, it helps our customer to retain one of the most important assets that they always need to control, which is the data. Right. But I guess before we talk a little bit about the NetApp role in cloud, let me quickly give you guys a quick overview of the company. NetApp is a Fortune 500 company based in Silicon Valley with an annual turnover of $6.3 billion US. Data ONTAP is our operating system. It's our operating system for our storage system, and it does two things really, really well. Number one, it provides storage efficiency, meaning it helps our customer to store more data on lesser disks. And number two, it provides the ease of management to our customer for their data by giving intelligent way to our customer to manage and to operate the data. Our customers love our Data ONTAP. They love the benefit that Data ONTAP brings to them. And that's the reason why Data ONTAP today is the #1 branded storage OS in the marketplace based on IDC tracker report. Just like Android and iOS is actually monopolizing the whole OS for the mobile device, we are kind of monopolizing the storage devices for the enterprise side. So Data ONTAP is the #1 branded OS for storage devices in the enterprise segment. This is a result of 20 years of experience. This is a result of 20 years of innovation. And this will not be possible if we do not have good people in the company. We currently employ around 13,000 people globally in 150 countries. Two-thirds of them are actually engineers working on our ONTAP system, working on our operating system, working on our storage devices. This year, we are ranked the #3 best workplace to work for, best multinational workplace to work for globally. It, in fact, is a recognition that we have been enjoying for the past decade. NetApp is actually pretty religious about making sure that we are always constantly in the top 10 best company to work for globally. And in fact, we are in that position for the past 12 years consecutive because we believe that this is a strong testimony of our product really works, our technology really works, it really solves our customer problem, and B, our product is priced competitively in the marketplace. Because if we didn't do either of these things right, they will not be happy customer, and they will not be paying customer. And without happy and paying customer, definitely, they will not be a company that employees love to work in, no matter how much money you pay. So anyway, back to NetApp role for cloud. As I mentioned earlier on, we are not a cloud provider. We are a storage vendor, right? However, when we first started the cloud business back in 2009, we are pretty clear that we will not be effective as a cloud service provider. In fact, we feel that we should focus on what we are always good at, which is storage technology, which is data management. And unlike many of our competitors who go and build their own cloud, sell their own cloud, and in fact fail, we decided to focus on our resources on two things. The first one is we want to create a data platform that goes beyond private data center. So today, many of our customers already built their data center, their private cloud on our ONTAP, and they are looking to go into the public cloud. And they are looking for us to provide them the same data platform, the same data format when they go into the public cloud, when they go into the Amazon cloud. So that's the first thing that we want to do. I'm really happy to announce that today that data platform is already available. Today, the NetApp Data ONTAP not only works well in the private cloud environment, we do recode them so that they work perfectly in the public cloud. In fact, they work perfectly in Amazon cloud. So we now have a common data platform. We now have a common data platform that provides a common data format for our customer when they move between the cloud, and I'll talk more about that later on. And that's the foundation for our hybrid cloud. The second thing that we want to do well is to basically build a strong partner ecosystem of cloud service provider. And because of our non-competing nature, we are not a cloud provider. Most service providers are actually happy to work with us. So today, we have around 275 cloud service provider partners globally, 75 in Asia-Pac. There are people like Amazon, there are people like the local telco and the MSP. Out of these 275 cloud service provider partners, 95% or maybe 98% of them basically build their cloud on our data ONTAP. And that's the reason why we have been ranked the #1 storage system for public cloud infrastructure, again by IDC, consecutively for the last 2 years. And for some of the cloud service providers, for example, Amazon, who did not use NetApp storage for the cloud, we have solutions, right? We build solutions like the NetApp private storage and our cloud ONTAP, whereby we bring ONTAP into Amazon cloud. I'll talk about these two solutions later on. So I want to wrap up NetApp cloud strategy. It's actually really simple. We believe that we should focus on what we are good at, which is data storage, which is data management technology. And we believe that we should leverage on our partner like Amazon, build our ONTAP into Amazon cloud so that we can bring the NetApp technology to the customer who actually wanted NetApp technology and yet at the same time want to go into the cloud. So that, in short, is actually the way we go to the cloud. Our cloud is our partner cloud. Our cloud is Amazon cloud, right? So I want to spend a little bit more time, maybe just a couple of minutes, to talk about what we observe in the marketplace, right? So NetApp, traditionally, we play very well in the enterprise market space, right? So when IDC asked in a recent survey to the company, right, what are the top obstacles that's actually stopping you guys from embracing the cloud? So 49% of the enterprise mentioned security. 49% of the enterprise mentioned security. 38% of the enterprise mentioned compliance, and 33% mentioned service availability. We are honestly a little bit puzzled by the result, right? So let's backtrack 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago, when cloud is still pretty immature, where the business model and the technology is still not as good as they are today. At that time, many companies do not want to go into the cloud, especially for the enterprise, because they think that cloud is not secure. But 6 years from now, is cloud more secure? I want to go into the notion that basically, I think cloud today is actually a lot more secure than many of the enterprise data centers. I mean, on the same notion that today we put our money in the banks, right? Not because we want to make that miserable, less than 1% interest from the bank. At least in Singapore, they give you less than 1%. But more because a bank is always more secure than the piggy bank or the safe that you install back in your home. Likewise, a cloud service provider always have better security process, better security policy. They always have a more updated and frequent updated security patches than many, if not all, the data center globally. So why is our customer still afraid to go to the cloud? So we ask a lot of customers, right, hey guys, is it really the fear of security that's stopping you from going to the cloud, or is it some other reason? So let's hold that thought, right? So let's talk about compliance, right? Compliance, honestly, are a valid reason for enterprise for not going to the cloud. I mean, a lot of enterprises, they need to fulfill their regulation compliance or for the country or for the industry that they operate in. So if they go to the cloud, they lost control over the IT asset, and more importantly, they lost control over the data. So enterprise feel that they need to control the data if they want to fulfill the compliance alliance, and it's actually a very fair statement. Likewise, for service availability, right? IT department, CIO, they need to deliver IT services with a certain level of service, certain level of SLA to the business unit. And without controlling some of the key important IT aspects, they are now not able to control that kind of service availability. So when we talk to the enterprise further, right, we realize that it's not exactly the fear of being insecure that's stopping them from going to the cloud. They do understand that the cloud are pretty secure. I mean, they have good policy, they have good processes. It's actually the fear of losing control, the fear of losing control. The fear of losing control, more importantly, the fear of losing control of the data, because they have compliance that they need to fulfill, because they have service availability requirement that they need to fulfill, right? So NetApp believe, right, with the NetApp hybrid cloud solution, together with Amazon, we are actually able to help to smoothen, I won't say solve 100%, smoothen those fear of losing control to our enterprise customer, and that's precisely what we're going to talk about in the next couple of minutes. Right, NetApp hybrid cloud, the way we define hybrid cloud is the ability for our customer to move the data into the cloud and out of the cloud seamlessly on the same data format. So they can go to the cloud to enjoy all the cloud economies that cloud brings to them, but yet at the same time, they can retain the data. They can retain control over the data. It's a little bit different from some of the definition given by some of the vendor, but in essence, we kind of agree in principle a couple of things that everybody kind of already known today. Let me reiterate, right? Number one is different workloads typically sits on different cloud. So your legacy workload, your traditional workloads, those workloads that's high on compliance or high on performance requirement workloads, I think you should put them into your own private cloud. NetApp, we have a lot of solution to our customer if they want to build a private cloud solution. And in fact, many of our customers already built their private cloud on NetApp boxes, right? So if you guys are interested to know more about our solution for private cloud, please pop by our booth. I'll be there, and I'm happy to share. Certain workloads or certain applications that are particularly compute heavy or maybe bursting in nature, seriously, cloud give them all the good economics. They should go to the cloud. And we also firmly believe in the company that the ultimate destination for backup and archive data will be in the cloud eventually. So today, many companies still back up and archive the data on the secondary side or on the tapes, right? But we believe because of the scale and the pricing of many of the cloud solutions today, or of many of the cloud services, cloud storage services today, the ultimate destination for backup and archive should be in the cloud. And I think Amazon is in a really, really good position on that particular aspect. So back to the different workloads on different cloud. We believe that DR, backup, archive, test and development, and cloud burst are 5 very important workloads, or 5 workloads that we should actually move into the cloud. So this gives rise to a little bit of problem, right? So what the CIO, what the company really wanted is to have a knot. They can turn, right? So certain workload, when they want to retain under their own private cloud, they want to keep it there. But when they need certain bursting of the IT resources, they want to turn the knot and bring that workload into the public cloud. And when they finish with it, they want to bring it back. There are some challenges in doing this, right? In particular, the most challenging part, if you ask most of the company, is how do I move workload seamlessly from one cloud to the other from the data aspect? Few reasons. Number one is a lot of times data has different format on different cloud. So most of the enterprise, when they build their private cloud, they are running on the file store or the block store. But when they move it to the public cloud, sometimes they only offer object store services, right? So they need to do all kind of conversion. This is not efficient, this is not effective, and this involves a lot of cost as well. And likewise, when they move it back, this is going to create some problem for them. That's number one. Number two is data. Unlike compute, data is heavy. Data has gravity. So getting a whole bunch of data into and outside the cloud is both challenging, both time-consuming, and really, really expensive, right? So NetApp believes that being a data management company, we can solve this problem. And in fact, the way we solve this problem is create what we call a data fabric. So NetApp Data Fabric is basically a fabric. It's actually a bundle of SKU. It's not a vision, by the way. It's a real SKU that we can buy in the market today. It's actually a bundle of SKU that works like a fabric that typically stitch together all the three different clouds. So we are actually the first company. The NetApp Data Fabric was introduced last year, September, and we are actually the first company who actually launched a data fabric solution to the market. There are actually a lot of fabric solutions in the market, but we are actually the first company who launched a fabric solution based on the data, focusing on the data. So our data fabric typically do three things really well. The first one is basically what we call a consistent data format. So remember, a lot of our customers already built their private cloud on NetApp Data Operating System, our ONTAP, right? And of the 275 cloud service providers that we have today, majority of them, 98% of them, basically build their public cloud on our data ONTAP. So the blue cloud, the green cloud are all on our ONTAP. So they have the same format, they have the same platform. So moving data become very easy. It's seamless, right? So for a handful of cloud service providers like Amazon who didn't build their cloud based on NetApp, we actually built a solution to bring ONTAP into Amazon Cloud. And today we have the NetApp Private Storage and the Cloud ONTAP that I will share on the next slides. So effectively, we now have the same data ONTAP running on all the three different clouds, and they all offer the same data format. So this basically solves your problem when you try to move data from one cloud to the other. That's the first thing that the data fabric do. The second thing that data fabric does is basically it provides a consistent data management. We have a whole bunch of data management tools available. In particular, there's one called the On-Command Cloud Manager. So what the On-Command Cloud Manager do is it enables you to manage, monitor, and provision your data in multiple clouds. Whichever cloud you go to, it could be on your own data center, it could be on Amazon Cloud, it could be another of our partner cloud. One single tool, multiple cloud. Very simple to use. I will run a quick demo on the Cloud Manager later on towards the end of the whole session. The third thing that the data fabric does really well is what we call a fast and efficient data transport. So because of the NetApp technology, because of the Snap product that we have, we are able to keep the bandwidth between the cloud really small and tiny. So this brings you cost saving. This basically ensures that your workloads, your application performance will not be compromised. So this, in short, is our data fabric. And so let me move on to what are the NetApp Data Fabric solutions for Amazon, right? So I'm going to present four today. The first one is the NetApp Private Storage. So NetApp Private Storage is a NetApp Fowler co-located at Equinix Data Center. And we connect this Fowler to Amazon Cloud via a 1G or a 10G direct connect link, right? So because the Fowler is co-located at Equinix Data Center, it's actually near Amazon Cloud, but it's not inside Amazon Cloud, right? And because of the 1G and 10G connection, there's a big pipe connecting the Fowler, the storage Fowler, to Amazon Cloud. So what this does is actually it helps to make sure that every single enterprise application, whether they are bandwidth sensitive, whether they are time sensitive, whether they are I/O sensitive, it works in this scenario. So our customer can use this solution, go to Amazon Cloud and buy all the Amazon services that they want. But when it comes to storing the data, they do not need to store in the Amazon Cloud. They can store it outside Amazon Cloud, inside our Fowler itself. So for compliance reason and for some of the unique business needs that our customer has. NetApp Private Storage is perfect for what we call the DR scenario. It's perfect for what we call the cloud burst for every enterprise application, every single one of them. The second product that I'm going to share is the Cloud ONTAP. So as I mentioned earlier on, ONTAP is the #1 operating system for storage in the market today. So Cloud ONTAP is basically a recoding of our ONTAP so that it works in Amazon Cloud. So today some of our customers may not be using our Fowler, but yet they want to access to the same technology that our ONTAP brings to them, right? Like our Snap Mirror, Snap Vault, all the storage efficient technology that we talked about earlier on. So what they can do is to basically run our Cloud ONTAP on Amazon EBS. So effectively, it's transfer the whole Amazon EBS services to looks and behave like a NetApp box. That's typically what you do. So even though you're not storing your data inside the NetApp box, but you're storing on the Amazon EBS services, but your EBS looks and behave like a NetApp box itself. ONTAP can be purchased like a license. It also can be procured by the hours in the Amazon Marketplace. So I will run a quick demo on ONTAP later on as well. The third product is basically StillStore. StillStore only do one thing. It back up and archive data from the customer premises to the Amazon Cloud, either S3 or Glacier, right? That's what it does, right? So what happened is StillStore have a internal storage capacity built inside, up to 192 terabyte. So number one, StillStore integrates seamlessly with every single backup software you have in the market. And then when all the customer hot data will be cached inside the StillStore box. And depending on the user policy setting, when the data get cold data can up to the user to define. It could be 7 days when the data get cold, when nobody accesses it, or it could be a week, right? Or it could be a month. So when the data get cold, StillStore basically push that data to the Amazon S3 or Glacier for backup and archive, right? So StillStore also compress and dedupe. So basically the bandwidth needed between the customer premises to Amazon cloud is actually really small. And as a matter of fact, if you're not too worried about the restoration time, you can actually use VPN over the public internet. If you're not worried about how long it takes to restore the data back to your data center, right? So StillStore is also available as a virtual appliances on a smaller capacity under the Amazon Marketplace, and we sell it by the hour as well. So that's the third product. The last product is our storage grid web scale. This is actually a product for customers who want to build a private object store, maybe for their backup purposes, maybe for the archive purposes, right? So what we did for the storage grid web scale today is we actually integrate web scale to Amazon S3. So any customer who actually, and we actually provide a user policy engine, and we help the customer to do the different storage tiering, right? So any customer who want to basically move the data from storage grid to S3, it can be done automatically. So these are the 4 products that I want to share, which form the basis of our data fabric for the Amazon Web Services. The first 2 products, the NetApp Private Storage, the Cloud ONTAP, what it does is to bring the NetApp ONTAP into Amazon Cloud. The last 2 products, the backup, the StillStore, and the storage grid web scale, what it does is to bring the backup and archive data from the customer premises to the Amazon Cloud. So you look at it, either one of the products can be a single pillar, or a bundle of the product can be used to build a hybrid cloud for your customer to ensure that your customer can move data seamlessly into the cloud and outside the cloud. I want to wrap up with two very quick case studies. The first one is actually Spot Trading. Spot Trading is actually a trading firm based in the United States. So, but unlike most of the trading company, they actually don't use broker, right? They use technology and innovation by creating trading application for the client to trade and for the client to get advice. So as the business for Spot Trading start to grow, they find that their current or backup and archive data just doesn't work anymore. It's expensive, and more importantly, it's time-consuming. So we proposed the NetApp StillStore and the Amazon Glacier. So the customer really love it, and they deployed it, right? So what they do is basically they use the StillStore box to cache the hot data, and when the data get cold, they archive it to Amazon Glacier. So the benefit for the customer is actually highlighted on the slides. Number one is we are returning 40 hours per month per IT staff. So what happened is they use 5 IT staff to back up and archive data. So every month, they actually have 200 hours go back to the company. Spot Trading actually have a very small IT department. They want to use this IT department to create trading application and not to do manual backup and archive, right? So they are really happy with that result. In fact, that's actually the single biggest benefit that they always find for the whole solution, right? Of course, the StillStore box has a short ROI of 2 years, and now StillStore is becoming like a backup for them, whereby we cache the data. They actually do not have to upgrade their SAN system, and that saved them $500,000, right? We are particularly happy with that SAN system saving because they are using a competitor SAN, right? So anytime to reduce the competitor footprint is always good for us. StillStore reduced their archive cost by, Glacier reduced their archive cost, storage costing by 96%. So again, it's a good testimony that tape is not cheap. If anybody still think that tape is a cheap option, actually you may have to think again, right? The 1 penny per gig per month offered by Glacier is actually a really strong value proposition for customers to archive data to the cloud. Lastly, they can restore in minutes instead of days, as in the case of the tape. And more importantly, right, StillStore encrypt the customer data, so they are able to fulfill all the data security requirements imposed to them, right? The second case study is NTU, or Nanyang Technological University. It's actually a case study really close to my heart, not only because I was personally involved in this in the whole sales cycle, but also because NTU is a university that I graduated almost 20 years ago, right? So guys, right, today if you find that my presentation is no good or I'm a lousy speaker, has nothing to do with NTU. It's actually a really, really good university, right? So NTU was established in 1956. So again, the fault is me, the fault is not NTU. NTU was established in 1956, and today it's being ranked as the top 50 university globally. They currently have 33,000 students, and they have 4,000 research scientists and staff, right? All these people have high IT needs. They have a high IT needs. So inside NTU, they have this department called the High Performance Computing Center, HPCC. HPCC is tasked to provide or to satisfy all the compute appetites that all these scientists really need for their own projects. So currently, HPCC already have 500 server core running in the whole data center. But even with that kind of compute capacity, they are not able to fulfill the compute appetites for the student, right? Instead of buying more server, they think that they want to get the compute power from the cloud, and they want to get the compute power from Amazon EC2 because it's priced, it has the right pricing point. So, and more importantly, because most of the projects are bursting in nature, right? So no point buying a whole bunch of server and don't fully utilizing it. But being a research institution, they are very sticky about keeping the data in the cloud. They just cannot keep the data in the cloud. They need to have the data in their own private cloud environment. So we propose the netted private storage. We put a box inside Equinix data center. We link that box into the NTU HPCC data center. So effectively, this is still a extended private data center for them. And by connecting to Amazon EC2 by a 1G connection, they now can access all the compute power that they need, and at the same time, keeping the data secure and private within their own control. So NTU like this setup, not because it gives them a 30% saving on both CapEx and OpEx, but also because now they have a very flexible hybrid cloud architecture, right? In fact, they also use that box for their DR purposes as well. So perfect use case and perfect study, right? So I think with this, well, I'd like to bring up a quick video demo on how we can use our cloud manager to fire up the cloud on tap. So again, cloud on tap is our operating system running on Amazon so that we can use, so the whole Amazon EBS services looks and behave like a netted boxes, right? So maybe, can we start the video? Right, so you can download Cloud Manager from Amazon Marketplace. It's a $0 SKU, it's free. So once you go in, all you need to do is to basically go into the tenant tag, right? So under the tenant tag, basically you create your own tenant name. It could be a HR department, it could be a sales campaign, a credit card promotion. You can even specify your call center number because Cloud Manager allows you to download a whole bunch of reports at the end of the month to do your cross-charging. So once you create your tenant, right, you are ready to basically create your working environment, right? So when you go into the working environment, basically you click on it. And remember, you can use Cloud Manager to provision Cloud ONTAP, which is the cloud version or the virtual version of us. Or you can use the Cloud Manager to provision the physical netted fowler or ONTAP running on a physical netted fowler in their own customer data center, right? So once you select Cloud ONTAP, you bring you to the Amazon environment. You select the Amazon data center. You want the cloud to run the Cloud ONTAP on. Then you select your user group and your security policy, right? And then basically these are the only three fields you need to select, and then you are ready to go. So ONTAP is currently available in 3 different flavors, right? You can buy it as a unlimited license, right? 6-month unlimited license. If you bought that license, you can key in your license key. Or you can buy it via this ONTAP manager by the hour on either the Explore or the standard version. One is a 2 terabyte, one is a 10 terabyte capacity. So when you select the Explore version, you key in your credential. Cloud ONTAP is supported by NetApp, so you can call the same NetApp help desk and call center. They will support you, right? And then you are ready to create your volume, right? So under the volume, let's give a name to the volume, right? I mean, I think let's give it a volume 1 maybe, right? And then under the protocol, you can select all kind of protocol. We use MSF and we select 100 gig. Then there's a different user profile for you to select too. So the highest performance is whereby we do not turn on any of the storage efficiency feature. It's meant for mission critical. It's meant for applications that need a high IOPS. The most efficient is whereby we turn on every of the storage efficiency feature that we have, right? And then you can select the snapshot policy, their default snapshot policy that we built in. We think is the best practice. You can define your own if you do not want to use our default snapshot policy as well. And once you are done with the snapshot policy selection, I think you click onto the next button, and you are ready to fire up the Cloud ONTAP, right? Remember, Cloud OnTap helps you to call out all the necessary Amazon resources, right? It helps you to call out all the necessary ECS and the EBS, AC2 and EBS services, right? If you want to know what kind of Amazon resources Cloud OnTap will activate for you, click on the more information, and these are the bunch of the Amazon services that we will create for you, right? So once you are done with, happy with the setup, you click finish, and depending on your network connection, it takes between a couple of minutes to up to 25 minutes for the whole OnTap to be provisioned under the Amazon data center, right? And again, right, as I say, so once you have that, basically this is what you go. There are 3 instances, 2 EC2, 1 for the NetApp support, 1 for the OnTap to run on, and basically a 100 gigabyte. So try our Cloud OnTap for free. I encourage you guys to visit our booth, right? It's actually outside. So the movie ticket is already finished. We actually given a movie ticket early on, right? So it's already finished, but still go on to our booth. Try the Cloud Manager, try the Cloud OnTap. We have our partner solution that we feature there as well. But if you do not want to visit our booth, you can download our Cloud OnTap test, right, and enjoy free evaluation for 14 days, right? But you do still have to pay for the Amazon resources that you call up. You can also go to our marketplace to try out the virtual version of our Steel Store, right? I think with this, I thank you guys for your attention. I bring back Jonathan to close up the whole session. Right.
All right, let's thank Sean. So there's 3 takeaways we want you to take away from this session. The first is hybrid. Different workloads, different clouds. Put the right workload in the right cloud. They may be different. Just be pragmatic about it. That's kind of the first takeaway. Different workloads, different clouds. It's a NetApp saying, and I really like it. The second one is NetApp Data Fabric. The seamless movement of data between clouds in a consistent format. And that's really cool. Different clouds, movement of data, consistent format. The third thing is NetApp Data Fabric solutions. For the enterprise, NetApp ONTAP Cloud. For backup, NetApp Steel Store. Both of them available in the AWS Marketplace now. Use them. There's free trials. That's it from us. Thanks a lot.